Ensconced here on the throne of Gaziano and Gerling, and what this particular seat is all about is polishing shoes. Shoe maintenance is as critical as the craftsmanship that get the shoe from leather and sole to a finished product. When you buy a pair of shoes, of course the usage of them destroys them. So you take them outside, you walk on them, you are out in the elements, you bump into people for all sorts of reasons. Shoes get scuffed and they need protecting. And I would say one of the great sins of people who have shoes these days is they do not know how to properly maintain and look after their shoes. There are two things that are important about this. Is firstly, there's an aesthetic purpose behind it. Shoes look amazing when they're well polished, and secondly, it protects them. So I'm here with Steve, who I would say is the great expert in the UK for shoe polishing. I would say I'm fairly adept at polishing my own shoes, but everything I know about shoe polishing I learned from Steve. In the same way that people need to sort of launder and press their suits, the application of things like polish and moisturiser to leather is a really essential part of maintaining it. So can you talk to us about the kind of, both the products that you will use, but also what it does to leather that makes it so important?
You need, if you're going to spend a lot of money on shoes, good quality shoes, you need to take care of them. So I use the best products, creams, waxes, from the best companies. So I don't, I'm not loyal to any one company, I just like to use the best products. The products that are going to be the best for longevity of the leather. So I use Sapphire waxes, a company called Boot Black, who are a Japanese company, will help to nourish the leather. I think you need to nourish your shoes. That's the most important thing, to keep them moisturised. Waxing I see as being more the makeup. It does protect the leather, but a lot of it is aesthetic, whereas the creams are the main thing that keeps your shoes alive.
So when you talk about wax, is what you mean is what people refer to as shoe polish, right?
Shoe polish,
yeah. Okay, so so the moisturiser for you is the most important part of the process.
I think so. Okay, because it brings them alive as well.
Yeah,
you know you've seen examples of my work where you have a shoe which literally is dead. I've had many examples of shoes that clients are waiting to throw in the bin.
Yeah.
And cream alone just brings them back to life.
Yeah.
Because you have different coloured creams as well, so you can add depth and texture. And, patina to the shoes, literally with cream.
Just, whilst I of course want everybody to come here, this is something that people watch across the world, they may not be able to.
Yeah.
But could you just sort of give an indication? I don't think people necessarily have the confidence to know what to do with moisturiser, even if they bought it. So what's the application of cream and moisturiser to the shoe? Is it the same as a polish? How would you recommend?
I think you watch a lot of YouTube videos where they're trying to sell their products. Ignore it. Right, put small amounts and spread it evenly. If you oversaturate the leather, you can actually damage the leather. To be honest, I've seen a lot of examples where the leather's too oily, and you literally can't remove it from the leather once it's in there. So I use my fingers because it penetrates the leather properly. So you're pushing it into the leather. So with brushes, sometimes with cloths, you're literally just touching the top of the leather. You might make it look good, but you need to penetrate the leather to keep the longevity of the leather, so it seeps into the pores. So that's why I use my hands. I find that the best way to apply products, to be honest. For clients, I'd say if you're scared to use your hands, you're going to get messy. You're going to an event in the evening and you don't want to mess up your hands and you're just doing it quickly. I personally would advise using a cloth over a brush, and then use the cloth to rub in the products. I would find that the alternative way to using your hand.
Okay.
I would say.
And you hear people sort of saying you can use in sort of cotton t-shirts and things. Even then, you know, you don't necessarily need.
Yeah, I'll give an example. in a minute of how to apply
Different
the cloth
yeah.
and how you do sort of a mirror shine with little bits of water
Yeah.
and wax
Yeah.
and
Super.
combined, because I know a lot of people do struggle with that aspect. I know a lot of clients have contacted me and they say they don't know how to do it, etc., etc.
What are the telltale signs of certain issues that you've come across? You were talking earlier about you people come in and they've oversaturated or whatever. What are the signs that the shoes need looking after other than just scuffs?
There's a lot of examples. So shoes will come in and be matted, like they won't. It will look like they're full of like product.
Yeah.
And no matter what the client does, they can't get them to shine.
Do you mean like the patches, when there's like patches of...
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and also sort of you get clients come in more with sort of scratches on the leather, etc., and where we can sand it down, refill it, and then polish it afterwards. So I'd say to clients, no matter what the issue, there's pretty much always something you can do to fix the leather.
So what exactly are you doing now?
So at the moment, I'm mainly working around the side of your sole and just trying to get all the colour back into it, because you lost a lot of colour. On the tops, I've already nourished them, added a little bit of colour in there, a little bit of mahogany, just to try and bring them alive a little bit more. I'm going to start putting on the base coats in a second on your shoes, where we'll be building up a nice base to allow us to then mirror shine the shoes.
Okay. When people have things like polish at home,
Yeah.
do you recommend that they put polish across the entire shoe, just the toe cap? What's the rules?
Right, I would say you work on the whole shoe, but then once you get to the mirror shining stage, you concentrate on the toes and the heels. You don't want the areas that flex to have the same amount of wax as the toes and the heels, which are solid areas, because once you bend your foot, that area will crack.
Yeah.
So I would advise to do creaming, base waxes over the whole shoe, like what I'm doing now, but build up on the toes and the heels with the mirror shine, so you don't end up with it cracking.
So what's this product?
So this is Sapphire Pat Deluxe, and that is a thicker wax than the one you would use to do the mirror shining.
Okay. So that acts as a base.
It does act as a base layer, yeah. So as you can see, I'm just building up layers now, small circles, rubbing the product into the leather,
Yeah.
which is nourishing the leather at the same time as making it look good.
And what's your rule of thumb in terms of sort of numbers of layers, like the amount of times you go over the shoe before you then move on to the next stage?
I put on lots of small layers, so I build up lots and lots of small layers. I'm literally just touching the wax.
Yes.
So I'm not digging into the
So
wax.
that's another thing as well. People often, like when they have a cloth with,
Yeah.
they think to kind of make lots of big cells,
Yeah.
get lots of
And this is the problem.
polish and put on, and then yeah.
Exactly. So people get carried away, they dig into it, they slap it on.
Yeah.
You touch it and apply.
So what's the difference between what you were just using to this next phase and what it is that you're using now?
I like to think that I know how to combine colours quite well. So what I'm doing, I've added all the sort of light brown, and now I'm just adding a bit of red in, just to bring it to life and make it pop.
Yeah.
To add a bit of character. So literally just place the cloth there, pull it down, twist, quite a few times for me, wrap and then tuck under. Just like that.
Okay. Would you recommend using warm water or?
Room temperature water. A lot of the heat is in the preparation process when I apply the base layers. So my hands are hot.
Yeah.
So my hands are opening up the pores of the leather and allowing the products to penetrate in. I think we made the right decision going with a little bit of red in there.
Yeah,
'Cause it just gave it a bit of a kick.